To get some information from a bunch of people that are spending a lot of time on interviews, we also distributed surveys. In the survey, we also asked what they thought a nerd was. The generalized answer was that nerds are people who are extremely smart in school or are very knowledgeable on a certain subject. Okay.
From these surveys, 64% said that they were not nerds, 32% said they were nerds, and 4% weren't sure if they were or not. Of the 64% that said they weren't nerds, 59% of them were male and 41% were female, while 75% of the 32% that said they were nerds were female, and only 25% of the self-acclaimed nerds were male.
Of those 32% of people who said they were nerds, 44% said they were school nerds, 31% said they were band nerds, 6% said they were Harry Potter nerds, and 6% said they were nerd fighters, and 30% were other kinds of nerds.
And in case you don't know what a nerd fighter is, here's a short clip.
Confused. Like, for example, what is a nerd fighter?
A nerd fighter is a person who, instead of being made out of like bones and skin and tissue, is made entirely of awesome.
So you're saying that nerd fighters don't fight nerds?
No, we're clearly pro-nerd.
Another question we asked was, do you think there are negative attitudes towards nerds? 78% of those interviewed said yes, 6% weren't sure, and 16% said there were no negative attitudes directed towards nerds.
This shows that over 3/4 of people believe that nerds are bullied, or at least shown disrespect to, or prejudice towards them. This may be for many reasons. Some people might be jealous that they aren't as smart as them. Some might think it's just fun to book them in the hallways, and some are just flat out mean because they can be.
We also asked people if they thought there were more than one type of nerd. 78% of people said there were multiple types of nerds, 2% weren't sure, and 20% believed there was only one type of nerd. We also asked them if they said yes, what were the first three types that came to their head. Top results were school nerd, followed by computer nerd, sci-fi nerd, and then band nerd.
The final question of the survey was, do you prefer Star Wars or Star Trek? We chose this one because it's the question that can turn nerd against nerd. It's the ultimate nerd question. It really depends on the person's opinions. But with the results of our survey, we discovered that 64% of people we surveyed preferred Star Wars, while only 12% preferred Star Trek. And even though it wasn't an option, 24% admitted to not liking either of them.
Sum up, 64% of people claimed to not be nerds, 32% said they were, and 4% didn't know. Most of the people who claimed to not be nerds were males, while most of the people admitted to being a nerd were female. This could be because females are just more nerdy, or the more likely reason would be that guys can be too ashamed to call themselves nerds, thinking that'll ruin their reputation or something along those lines.
Yes, okay. But in reality, people just don't like being associated with the term nerd, thinking that it can be derogatory or just embarrassing to be a nerd, when really it's not. To be a nerd simply means that you are knowledgeable on a certain subject or an area of interest.
There are certain kinds of nerds that people would think it is embarrassing to be like. Those people obviously have realized that being a nerd is fine too, because all it means is that you're smart and that there's nothing bad about being a nerd.
Many of the stereotypes of nerds come from some people that may actually be like that. There may be people who are overly obsessed with something like Star Trek or Star Wars, like they go to conventions, dress up, and all that crazy stuff. But that doesn't define the word nerd. It just because a few nerds do that doesn't mean all of them have to.
So really, if you think about it, being a nerd is good, because all it is a different way of saying that you're smart. So if someone calls you a nerd, take it as a compliment, because they're admitting that you are smarter than them.
And so we're going to end this off with the video about being a nerd. So if you're not a nerd, take some advice. It's called How to Be Nerd. Thank you for watching, and enjoy.
I know how to be emo now.
Hey you!
Who, me?
Yeah, you.
Aunt Jemima?
Still can't defend yourself?
Yeah.
Kids still picking on you at school?
Mm-hmm.
Well then, How to Be Nerd is a DVD for you!
Wait, how is that gonna help me? I mean, I'm already a nerd.
Like this.
Stop that. I hate it when you always throw those DVDs. Oh my god. You better watch out before I get you. You lucky you're all the way over there.
This DVD includes your two very own personal trainers.
Greetings. My name is Elite Dark Lord _ Dragon Slayer _ 3.14159. Hey friends, my name is
Harry Potter.
Lesson 1. Nerds have the most incredible laugh you'll ever hear. Hey dude! Yeah? Guess what? What? I was on Counter-Strike the other day. Yeah? And this guy, he's such a noob, he got knifed. Oh my god, he's such a noob. He's such a noob. LOL, LOL. LOL. Lesson 2. Nerds have really cool fighting moves. The running slap. The ultra super kick.
The burp shot.
The pick and flick. The butt head. Lesson 3. Nerds never give in to peer pressure.
Dude, you want to take some shots with me?
Oh
Dude, you should try some of this.
no! No!
Dude, you should wash your hands.
No!
Help me! I'm choking.
No! Lesson 4. Gangsters aren't the only ones with cool handshakes. Nerds have cool handshakes too. The casual nerd handshake. Yo! The jumping handshake. Yeah! The spinning handshake. The double nerd handshake. The triple nerd handshake. Wait, where's the third one? You're sick! Lesson 5. A true nerd always has an escape plan ready. I think I lost him. If you follow all of these lessons, it should look a little something like this. Wait, I know how to be nerd still. You know what to do already. Aww.
Fatality.
What do you think a nerd is?
What a nerd is?
Yes.
You guys.
Okay. you
That's
can
very
pick different kinds of
insulting.
nerds.
Yeah, there's you and then you.
Now that we have seen how nerds are stereotyped by, crap. Darn it.
Are you going right now?
Yeah. Yeah, go on. I don't know. Just say whatever.
Books and everything.
No, we're not doing the intro.
What are we doing?
We're not doing. You just wanted to say something?
No. Nerd walk. Walk on the hall. Nerd swag or something? Nerd swag, yeah.
Yeah, go ahead. Do
No,
it.
I need the books and everything.
Oh, well.
Oh,
do it later.
get your books. I'm still recording this.
It's gonna be in that.
Yeah. This is gonna be this is gonna be the end. That you're in the bloopers right now.
Okay.
How do you feel?
Pretty ashamed actually.
Pretty ashamed?
Yeah, I'm nerd.
Why
This is the best part. People are gonna laugh. And
Funny going on right now.
it is. This is hilarious.
Us, but if we look
People
back
are
on
currently
it, we'll
laughing
realize
right
how
now.
Stupid it is.
People right now, while they're watching this, are laughing. Right? Right?
Whoa,
Steven?
whoa.
Whoa. Sorry. It's too close. Steven, don't be scared.
And we have some questions. First of all, what do you think a nerd is?
Delicious candies.
Now that we have seen how nerds are stereotyped as by media, let's see how individuals... Okay, one more time. Get some information from a bunch of people that's spending a lot of time on get some information.
Take 3.
Time on interviews. We also distributed surveys. In the survey, we all too many S's. To get some information from a bunch of people that's spending a lot of time on interviews, we also distributed surveys. In the survey, we also asked what they thought a nerd was.
Sorry. Okay.
Okay.
Let's get this.
5 more takes. We'll get it. To get some information from a bunch of people that's spending a lot of time on interviews, we also distributed surveys. In the survey, we also asked what they thought a nerd was. The generalized answer was...
Come on. And from these surveys, 64% of those that answered said they were not nerds. 32% admitted to being nerds, and 4% weren't sure if they were or not. Of the 64% that said they weren't nerds, 59% of them were male and 41% were female. While of the 32%, 75% said that they were... Time goes to... Okay, I'll start from my part, because yours was good.
Yeah. Of those 32%...
shows that over 3/4 of people believe that nerds are bullied or at least shown disrespect to or prejudice towards them. This may be for many reasons. Some people might be jealous they aren't as smart as them. Okay, I'm just gonna start that over.
Another question we asked was, do you think there are negative attitudes towards nerds? 78% of those interviewed said yes, 6% weren't sure, and 16% said they're...
Come on, Tom. Real nerds people go through this.
Yo! Ah! Takes all it takes. Sum this all up. Ah!
Come on,
No
Tom.
way. No
Come
way.
on, one sentence in, not even, and you screwed up.
The pressure.
Okay, I'll just keep going. Okay.
Don't look at me. Look at the camera.
Breathe in.
Sum this all up.
Sorry. My bad. You're saying?
Sum this all up. 64% of people claim to not be nerds. 32 numbers.
You don't like numbers. Numbers don't like you. Why are you a nerd?
Nerd.
And many stereotypes of nerds come from people that may actually be like that. Like, there may be people who are overly obsessed with something like Star Trekkers. Shit!
Star Wek or Star Tours.
Trek Wars. Trek Wars? Okay.
Oh.